Okay, the first thing we need to do in order to put the ISO circle in the center of this block is to find the center. There's a couple different ways to do that. I can use my line tool and draw isometrically 2 inches up in the 150 and 2 inches vertically to find that center point because I'm putting it on my front view. I could also, if I have my midpoint snap turned on, draw from a midpoint to a midpoint and then use the midpoint of this line, okay? This does not work in the corner to corner method. If you were to use corner to corner, you would have to draw both lines in there and then pick their intersection, not the midpoint of either line. It is a slightly different spot. I'm going to do it this way. You can do it either way. If you need to round a corner, it's usually easier to draw up the line and then up to find the center, the distance of the radius you're trying to round the corner. In order to create an ISO circle, we have to go to the ellipse tool right here and pick the middle one called axis end. Axis end is the only one that when we do that, you are then going to see the option in the command menu for an ISO circle. You can either type the letter I and push enter or click where it says ISO circle. Your directions will now tell you to specify the center of the ISO circle, which for me is at the midpoint of this line. I'm then going to pull out and it's going to ask me for the diameter, or I'm sorry, the radius of the circle. So if you know the diameter, you'll have to cut that in half. If I wanted a 1 inch diameter circle in the center of this, I'm going to have to type in ½ inch or 0.5 and click enter. After removing the line, you can see it appears as the circle is angled properly on this face. You'll also notice my ISO draft is set correctly, so I am drawing on the front view. The only way to get this circle to show up correctly is to make sure your ISO draft matches the face where you're going to draw it. If I'm going to draw it on the top view, I have to go and switch my ISO draft like this to be drawing on top. If I'm going to draw it on the right side, I have to switch my ISO draft to draw it properly on the right side.